What's up, everyone? It's Jeremy. If you enjoy my content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out. Appreciate y'all.
If you were to die today, your job would be posted before your obituary would. So take the time and enjoy the ride, because nobody is going to get to the end of their life and been like, damn, I wish I worked more.
Good morning. It's another ride along. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? I'm doing good. On this edition of the ride along, it is Take Your Subscribers to Work Day. Except I can't actually take you to work. I'm pretty sure they would fire me for that. Y'all can't know any company secrets. But it's been beautiful out this past week, and figured I would take a ride into work and get to see what my commute looks like. I don't really ride to work that often just because I don't live too far from the job, and honestly it's kind of boring. You're on 72 and then you're on 1, and it's just not that fun of a ride. The other thing too is it's kind of hit or miss as to whether or not you're going to hit traffic going in. Usually I end up checking like Google and the Del.Dot app just to kind of get an idea of what I'm going to be riding through. And as you've noticed, it's relatively clear today, so not a whole lot going on traffic-wise. Really? Just gonna fucking pull out in front of somebody? Fuck you. So some fucking Karen just pulling out a Wawa, not paying attention to anything. I don't know how that looks coming across on camera with the field of vision I have set for it, but she totally just pulled out in front of me. Now luckily I wasn't going that fast that I couldn't have hit my brakes if I had to, or, I go around. But for fuck's sake, man, pay attention. God forbid you had one of these guys out here on their sport bikes doing mock Jesus, and she would have just pulled out right in front of one of them, and that would have been another check on your people's post on the forums. So when I was talking about traffic just a second ago, they only just recently finished work on 72. They took it from being a 2-lane road to a 4-lane road. And I'll tell you what, man, it took them for fucking ever. I moved back out this way probably about 13 years ago, and I feel like that road was under construction for pretty much the entire time I've lived out this way. I don't know what it is with construction projects, but I feel like, they take so long that by the time you finish it, you got to go back to where you started and fix up what's aged out. They also changed the traffic pattern at these two intersections here. Before, the lanes never used to cross over. It was just 2 stoplights, and if you were unlucky, you pretty much got stuck at 2 lights before you can get on Route 1 north or south. But now you get to pretend like you're British for a hot second and drive on the wrong side of the road before you take your exit on the Route 1 north here. A friend of mine who's a paramedic in Delaware City told me that changing that traffic pattern actually reduced the amount of accidents in this area, which, I can't be mad at that. Anything that's going to, keep people safe on the roads, while it looks a little silly, it's doing its job and it's protecting people, so I'm cool with it. But I'll tell you what, when you're on Route 1 South taking the Delaware City exit and you want to come back the way that I just came, it gets really confusing, because in most cases, when your side of the road has the green light and you need to make a right-hand turn, that usually means you're in the clear, but not here. If you got the green light, that means traffic's coming towards you and you can't safely yield and make that right-hand turn. You gotta wait for you to have the red light so that the traffic across that just took the way I just took is cutting across, which now gives you the right of way to be able to safely merge and go back the way we came. I don't know how there hasn't been more accidents, because that's confusing as shit. That's been pretty much the traffic pattern for decades, and you have to forego what you've been doing all these years to now watch out for incoming traffic when you technically have the green light. Especially if I'm taking the bike to work, I like to chill in the right-hand lane. I am in no rush to get to a place that I arguably sometimes don't want to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like my job. I can't complain. I just, not everybody's going to love their job every single day, and especially if I'm on the bike, man, I want to prolong this as long as possible and get my enjoyment out of it before I have to go and, beat my head against the wall for the next 8 hours. But also, too, this little area here where it splits from 13 and Route 1, everybody always is in that middle lane and they can't make up their mind on whether or not they want to make a left and go on the 13 or make a right and stay in the left-hand lane of Route 1. And a lot of times that's a game time decision for some of these people. They'll literally cross the median or cross that little area there that, is no longer really part of the road. And I'd rather stay to the right just to avoid being cut off by these assholes. And otherwise, if they misjudge something or they run into somebody else, at least I got an escape path over here with the shoulder, or I can throttle up and just hopefully get myself out of a bad situation. Like I'd mentioned before, that L.Dot app, man, that thing comes in clutch when determining which route I'm taking into work. I got a couple different ways that I could take in. This just tends to be the more direct and fastest way. The other one, I can go down 7 and cross 40 and all that, but there's just a whole lot more stoplights and it gets a little congested from time to time. But the L.Dot app, though, not the Chillin app or anything, but if you're local in this area, it's really nice because it's pretty accurate and quickly updated as far as the traffic. But the thing I really like the most about it is I can look at the cameras, so I can see whether it's stop and go, if it's just slow moving, is it in the southbound lane, the northbound lane. I get a pretty good picture of what I'm going to be dealing with, which helps me on how frustrating my commute's going to be getting to and from work. Now, I have seen a lot of stupid shit on this road, and I have dodged everything from mattresses to cardboard to other people and even deer. Well, I didn't really dodge that one. More like I sent that one into the next county, but that's besides the point. Today has been a relatively uneventful ride on Route 1, which honestly, that's kind of what I would want. Just a nice smooth ride, and let's get to and from all of our destinations safely. And with that said, I am getting close to the job. The hardest part about riding to work is convincing myself to take the exit to, actually go to work. So through the magic of editing, I'll be right back.
And we're back. Another day, another dollar. Definitely more of a work to live, not a live to work kind of guy. It's always good when you can ride to work. Now it's just fight the traffic on the way home, which again, ain't too bad. It's a holiday weekend, like I said. Fortunately, I think a lot of these people are heading to go south, so I think we're going to take some back roads off home. But yeah, man, take your time off, take your PTO, take that day, call out of work, be unhinged, be ungovernable, do the things that make you happy. Because I'll be honest with you, I know with a lot of our jobs that if you were to die today, your job would be posted before your obituary would. So take the time and enjoy the ride, because nobody is going to get to the end of their life and been like, damn, I wish I worked more. Never going to happen. If there's any one bit of advice you take from me, that would be it. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of riding around, take the scenic route all back home. It's actually beautiful. I might even go back out once I get changed. You always gotta watch, man. Everybody likes to get this left-hand lane to make this left I'm about to make up here. Nobody pays attention getting on that off-ramp, man. Even on that off-ramp, when you're getting on from 40 onto here, dude, it's bad. Like, there's a yield that nobody pays attention to, so you pretty much have to be super defensive or good luck. But we'll swing down 71. Oh look, somebody else has got the right idea. get the hell off the highways and all these idiots. Yeah, I would say maybe take a ride down the beach, but I already got plans to do that. Just not gonna be plans to do that today. Probably take me about an hour and a half or so roughly to get there. And I ain't got that kind of time at the moment. Nice little back roads here. Usually I'll take this way into work just to extend the ride a little bit. I mean, I could blast down 72 and Route 1, get there in no time, and I kind of had to do that this morning because of I was running late. Usually I don't. It's a skill to be on time, right? That was beaten into my head ever since I was in high school. Kind of still live by that. You know, I'm not military or anything, but they say, you know, if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up. So I kind of always try to respect people's times. And, you know, it includes the job. You know, I do respect the job. They pay me. So you get what you pay for, but they pay me. But normally, if I'm going to ride to work, I try to enjoy as much time as I can. And wow, whatever the hell that bug was just went splat. Did y'all hear that? Had to have heard that. That might even have hit the camera. But yeah, this is the way typically I'll take to extend the ride a little bit. Not by much, but at least you're not blasting down construction areas and the highway and everything else, which, you know, honestly, I don't hate the highway. I just hate the highway when it's full of people. I almost had to take somebody's mirror here last year, pulling out in front of people on these roads too. So I mean, you gotta watch out anywhere you go. Actually, I just saw my Jason just sent me a message. I was checking before I got on the bike that there's a rider down on Route 9, which isn't that traveled. Like, it's a back road that we take if we're gonna go south. A lot of times we take Route 9 because it's super scenic. There's barely anybody on there. Not fighting with the highways or anything like that. And still, even on those roads, shit can happen. Like, I don't know if it was a single vehicle accident or, you know, if that person's anybody. Hopefully they're okay. You know, my heart goes out to them, and obviously we're gonna be praying that they're all right. But have to be diligent. You always got to be scanning. And, you know, if you're right, you know all the things. As much as it kind of bring peace to you, whatever you're going through that day, you really can't afford to slack off. You always got to be looking. You got to ride like somebody's trying to kill you. Yeah, the way you describe it, it's like, what the hell kind of fun is it, right? Like, if you're gonna sit there and, you know, the whole idea is to joyride like you would in a car and, you know, just kind of zone out and go. It's like you really don't get that luxury sometimes on a bike. I mean, but there is that moment of zen when everything is just moving, everything is fluid, everything is good, that it's just kind of indescribable, but, you know, a little different. It's hard to explain. Apparently hard to also keep my camera up. This camera wants to keep dipping down every time I just hit those railroad tracks, and then bam, it's like, all right, cool, look at my dick. Like, because that's not going to get me banned or anything. I mean, not that you can see anything, sorry, but, you know, YouTube would definitely ban me if we started doing some risque rides. Might be something for OnlyFans, though. I don't know. I haven't really looked at doing that. I was always told I got a face for radio, so I don't know. Maybe I can make some money on OnlyFans? Or maybe I'll start out naked and y'all can pay me to put my clothes back on. And I'll threaten you guys with that each and every week and see if I can retire from my job and do that full time. But realistically, I think I'd rather do this full time. I see a lot of folks that do moto vlogs and they travel, and you know, I've been fortunate enough
I've been able to travel a fair bit and take this motorcycle to, I think I'm up to like 9 or 10 different states now, and we've went international. Spoilers. That series is not out yet, but you know, we've crossed over into foreign territory, so I can't really complain too much. But you know, getting paid to do it obviously would be pretty dope. Yeah, I don't know how much money there is for it, but you know, even if it's something I could do in between, you know, the normal 9 to 5, that would be pretty cool. But as it stands right now, it's a hobby I enjoy and I can share with y'all. And if anybody that's thinking about riding that hasn't gotten a bike yet, maybe you can kind of get that inspiration from me, like I did from watching some of these other folks that record their rides, and finally buy your bike and see what it's like to finally get on twos. Because it's pretty damn fun, I ain't gonna lie. It's even more fun when you got some friends to ride with too, but you know what, if you're solo, it's still a lot of fun. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna wrap this ride along up. I'm gonna get a couple things done around the homestead, and then who knows, maybe I'll venture back out and do some more riding. So till then, peace.